moving on to another topic that I think Sheikh Bilal will be on the hot seat for it. It came on his topic of the gangs, and I have some written question that was emailed right now, and also conversations from the older generation regarding the cultural issue. The culture faces Islam, which is one of the actual topic we talk. To summarize some of the questions, some of the comments, I want the Sheikh Bilal to touch on and explain, and then Sheikh Abdul Khair and others, inshallah, and also watching the time. Sheikh Bilal, they say that you emphasize a lot on the identity of Islam. Some of people understood that we should leave the culture 100%. Take it out. We don't have to be different ethnicities, and we all go under the banner of Islam. Period. That's the somehow some people understood from your lecture, talking about how each identity stays, or there's little gangs that forms in the masjids, talking to each other only or inviting each other only. So I want you to touch on that and give them more explanation. What is your views in there, and is it should people not also celebrate their own cultural, their own backgrounds, and have their own identity living and transmit it to their kids and their grandkids and so on? And that was another question, that in terms of, if I don't want my daughter to marry a somebody from outside my culture, just because I want to have my lineage continue or my cultural to be living with it, am I wrong on that Islamically? Is it haram? Am I committing a sin, prohibiting my daughter or encouraging it heavily to go in that? So I want you to touch on that and clarify the haram and halal issue and give them more in-depth, inshallah. Barakallah feek.
Bismillah. The issue again about the ideal. What is the Islamic ideal? The Islamic ideal is that the culture of Muslims, for example, here in Canada, should be a mixed culture. You see, the circumstance is what produces culture. You know, if you're born in Egypt and raised in Egypt, and everybody around you has a common set of values and practices, it's natural for you to share those. And there's nothing wrong with having them, right? As long as they don't go against Islamic teachings. So that's fine. You know, this is what they call it, the urf. This is even, you know, enshrined in Islamic law, in the Sharia. Urf is there. But now, when you come out of that circumstance, think about the early generation that left Yemen, Hadramaut, and went to India, and went to Indonesia, went to Philippines and to Malaysia. These were Arabs with the Arab cultures. But if you go there now, you cannot see them. You cannot see the Arab culture there anymore. You might see some features, and they may have the name Ba, so and so, you know, oh, that's from Hadramaut, you know, but they have blended right in with the people. They did not try and seek to maintain that culture that we are Arabs, and they didn't do that. You know, whatever they learned of Arabic or they passed on of Arabic was passed on. So this is the natural way. It is unnatural to come and want to know, I want to keep that we are, you know, Bengalis here, you know, we're in Toronto, but we are Bengalis. No, we are Muslims. That's what we are. We are Muslims first and foremost. Bengali is second. That is second. So it means that when the issues of marriage comes, the issue in marriage should be according to Islam, not according to culture. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has already set the guidelines as to how we determine who our sons and daughters should marry. And he said, it's piety. That is the foundation. And if we don't make piety the criterion, then we have corruption. That is the consequence. So yes, it is wrong. It is wrong to say to my daughter, I don't want you to marry, you know, someone who is not, you know, from Ethiopia. You know, we are Ethiopians, you only marry an Ethiopian. It is wrong. Islamically, it is wrong. You should be open for whoever comes who is pious. And your concern should be to try and find a pious husband for her. Okay? So that is what is the primary criterion. We don't negate culture. Culture has its place, but our identity is Muslim. This is the basis of our identity, not Ethiopian, because these names were created by the colonials. The colonials made it. We didn't have it. Go back before the colonial era, and it was the Muslim empire. You know, wherever you came from, you were Muslim. You could live wherever you want, you could move, you didn't even have passports, anything. You know, your passport was your Islam. That is the ideal. That was how it was in the past.
Anybody else, inshallah?
I think whether it is the matter of the t-shirt or the matter of the handshaking or the matter of marriage and all of this, it depends on what do we see is the ruling factor. What is the determining factor of our life? And what's the source that we get from that? If we believe that it's the culture, which means that I belong to an Arab or I belong to the Ethiopian, then indeed you would be stuck there.